What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. Let's talk about some of the economic dates you need to keep an eye out for this month. Some of the dates that are definitely going to be volatile and can definitely have an impact on your investing, on your portfolio. We're also going to be covering AMC, the Mudrick situation, what is going on, and why we predicted this to be possible. It's not really a surprise, but there's something, apart from technicals, which look to be primed for a breakout tomorrow. There's something you need to keep an eye out for, something not so positive. Sorry for the lack of energy and kind of vibes are off today. Your boy got vaccinated. I feel hot right now. I feel like a tomato. I feel like I'm inflamed. It is what it is. We're fighting, and we still keep on grinding. So let's get right into this video. Starting off with this week, we have the iconic Jerome Powell, Fed chairman, speaking early on Friday. He's definitely always has something to say that moves the markets, whether it's regarding to interest rates, inflation. We have him on Friday. We have the other the governors on the board for the Federal Reserve. There's a couple, like 7 or 8 of them, so they're also going to be speaking. That is going to be coming out on Friday. That is also going to be tied in with the jobs report. Now, another key economic data point that's definitely going to move the markets, it is on June 10th. Mark your calendars, because this is the day we are going to have the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which came in at 4.2% year over year. 0.9% came in on the core, and if that comes in higher, maybe double digits, there's going to be some questions raised. On June 15th and June 16th, we have the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee. We have Powell. We have the decision on the federal funds rates. Are they going to be tapering? Talks about tapering, raising interest rates. That's the problem. And if they're going to talk about tapering, how are they going to go about? I know there's like 8 Fed meetings throughout the year. There are around 120 billion a month in purchases. 80 billion, we talked about it, to bonds, 40 billion MBS, mortgage-backed securities, which is just a basket of home loans. Are they going to be talking about 15 billion per taper, which or so they should be finishing around a year? And maybe in 2023 talk about raising interest rates, because that is their target. But the question, the variable here is inflation. That is the biggest concern here. Also, a lot of traders, just like last time, if they get spooked, they're going to be selling the headlines. This is regardless of any stock, any news. People are going to panic, and if they see inflation that, hey, it might not be transitory, that raises some problems. Those are the top 3 dates, in my opinion, for the month of June that we are definitely going to be expecting some volatility, some big change in the markets. If you have any other dates, any other events you want to throw in the comments down below, feel free to do so. As for some of the stocks we are watching, on June 3rd, we have the AMC proxy votes. We have Nvidia voting for a stock split on its proxy. We would have Tesla, but again, like I said in a couple videos ago, Elon tends to get a little ahead of himself. They've extended the Tesla Model S Plaid event to next week on the June 10th, which again, might be a buy the rumor, sell the news. Just like Battery Day was a big flop. There's a lot of hype headed into that, and if the stock does plummet, and if NASDAQ does bring tech down, as we're seeing that rotation, that might also be something you want to watch out for. The rotation from value, these tech stocks, into growth, into these dividend-paying stocks. Is that going to be undone, like Kathy Wood says, by the end of the year? Or is that going to be taking some more time in the future? Before covering the Mudrick situation, let's go over some of the technicals, which are very bullish on AMC. Slow and steady days where you slowly uptrend and you hold support, in this case $30, is something you really want to see on AMC. The staircase up. You don't want these crazy parabolic moves that make it look like a pump and up. It is slowly right on the EMA, holding 30. If it can open up pre-markets above 34, watch futures. I think there's a high chance at market open of testing 36 and hitting a new high, possibly maybe even 40s at market open tomorrow. I know we saw some of the volume drop from 600 mil to around 400 mil. That can also be easily reversed. These people are on the sidelines waiting, and if that's the case, they might come in rushing tomorrow at market open. Now, as for the Mudrick situation, Robert and I, he's an admin in the chat, an admin here on YouTube. We were talking about Mudrick back in April. He brought up Mudrick to me back in April after the 13F filing was filed by Mudrick. At the end of March, quarterly filing is mandatory by the SEC if you manage over $100 million. That was brought up to my attention by Robert. He actually brought it up because they were locking in some massive profits on AMC and GameStop, around 200 mil, I believe. They sold into January. So this morning, AMC sold 8.5 million shares to Mudrick and raised, yet again, $230 million. It's bullish because they're going to be using that capital to acquire some of the ARC-like assets. Then again, that is kind of stupid if you ask me, because they have a lot of debt that they should be paying down first, just like GameStop did, to clean up that balance sheet. One of the first problems comes in when Mudrick sells their AMC right away, locking in some profits. You can't blame them. They're a hedge fund. They've done this in the past. A couple months ago, they did the same exact thing. These hedge funds, guys, aren't mutual funds. They're going to be day trading. They're going to be swing trading. And if you give them the opportunity to lock in $30 million plus overnight like this, they're going to do it. And I think some people are blinded by the fact that Adam Aron keeps on lying. Do you need the money or do you not? Don't say you're not going to dilute when you keep on diluting. That is complete BS. I get you need the money at these crazy valuations, but don't be saying, hey, we're not going to dilute, and wake up, they sold. That's another big problem. When you're selling directly to these institutions and you're not letting them buy at the market, you're directly selling to them. What if they went short? You just gave them a route out. That's a problem. Let them buy at the market. Not even that. There's a conflict of interest. Again, for the second time, I let the first one pass. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But this time, it must be said. Castaneda owns some of Mudrick Capital. Adam Aron was listed on the board of directors for a SPAC but owned by Citadel. I think he even replied to somebody on Twitter saying it wasn't a big deal or he was never familiar with the case. I don't care what you say, if there's a legal doc having your name in which I verified it was him, that's a problem. Now let's the second time around. I think the stock is still going to do tremendously well. The volume is there. It is holding support. The problem can be when then there is further dilution and people get pissed and don't want it anymore. Like I said, back in April, the reason I sold was because he wants this dilution. He pulled it out because his proxy advisors told him he wasn't going to get the votes. It was not going to pass. He didn't pull it out because he cares about us. Guys, I quite frankly think Adam Aron doesn't give a shit about us. First of all, we saved this company through the pandemic. We held through all this BS. He never gave us credit. He never said the ape saved us. It took him a while for him to admit that is a big problem people are not seeing. I get he has to keep the company going, guys. This company has to breathe. It has to survive. And the fact that he knows that these apes are going to hold through whatever, that can be a problem. This is like the pot and the frog analogy. If you throw a freaking frog in the boiling pot of water, it's going to jump out. But if you slowly start raising the temperature, it won't feel it. Sooner or later, that's dead. This is the same thing here. Adam Aron is slowly diluting. We're not feeling it until we're diluted to our heads.